Designing and planning Lync Server 2013. Few years back, nobody knows about Lync Server, and they even don't know how to communicate in a best way with your partners and your contractors. The Lync Server take everything beyond the limit of the human being, and it allows you to connect people everywhere at any time. The designing and planning for the Lync server is always important is because you should know how you have to configure the thing, how many users you require to configure, and how much bandwidth you require before to configure Lync server. My name is Harsh Changra, and in this video we are going to cover what's new about Lync server 2013. After we get the detail of Lync server 2013 new features, we are going to move with designing and planning Lync server 2013 for an enterprise. I am not only going to share that how we can design and plan, I'm also going to show you how you can do the best practice within the Lync server 2013. After that, in a final step, I'm going to share how to make a setup of Lync server 2013 for the best practices in your test lab. So guys, let's get started. Lync server 2013, what's new? In this part, I'm going to start with the brand new Lync server 2013, which will take everything to the next level. Lync server 2013 not only provide the best compiled feature in all the communication systems, it will take the enterprise to become a unified communication platform. Everything is big in Lync server 2013. But before to begin to get to know more new feature about Lync server 2013, let me give you the brief idea that what is the Lync server is all about. The Lync server actually is a communication software that will offer you the instant messaging just like other chat services. The presence, you can also show that you are busy, you are available to chat or communicate. It will allow you to arrange the conference in between your partners, your customers, or anybody else in your organization. It will also allow you to use the current running telephony solutions, for example PBX systems or SIP systems if it is running in your organization. And after that, it will also make you very comfortable with all kind of enterprise level collaboration services. The Lync server 2013 actually enable all the users to connect in a new ways. Everything is new in Lync server 2013, where you can stay connected in any physical location you are available. The Lync server is actually available within the organization, but it allows all the users to connect via mobile phone, tablets, PC, or any other platform available on the earth. Lync and Lync server is actually bring together the different ways that people communicate in a single client interface, because you log in any device, you can feel the same interface on all the device, which is really very easy to use and very easy to administer. It is also allow you to manage everything in a single place, which is also called single management infrastructure. You just need to configure Lync server 2013 on-premise and everything is ready to move. Let's talk about more new feature about Lync server 2013. As I mentioned before, Lync server 2013 brings a lot of new features, tons of new features. Not only few things that I shared in this particular presentation, you can also get more information about Lync server 2013 over the net. But here are the few new features I want to share with you. The number one is connect with outside world. That means you can connect with anyone, you can share your information with anyone and they can connect via Lync with you. Or not only Lync, if the people are using Skype, a kind of free instant messaging and the video conferencing system, it will also allow you to connect from that as well. You can now stay in touch with anywhere from any device. That's what I was talking about. use the device you want. You are using Windows Phone, you are using Windows PC, the tablet, Surface, iPad, or any Mac operating system, Linux. You can use any device, you can still able to log in. One thing is true, maybe few of you already know about Linux distro. I can understand that you are not able to install any of the Lync client, but it will allow you to log in via web browser. You can take advantage of standard based HD video. Everything is HD right now. The cameras are HD. You can do everything within HD using Lync server. You can arrange meeting virtually from anywhere. You are using phone. You can directly arrange your meeting from your calendar, directly from your Outlook. It is really very nice to know that. It will also allow you to join the meetings in a very easy way. Just you need to click on the contact or the detail links available in the meeting flow, and everything automatically will be done by Lync server. It will also extend the Lync meetings outside your organization with browser-based access. That's what I was talking about. If you do not have any application installed anywhere, maybe you sit in internet cafe and you want to access Lync, you can do it by using browser-based access. You can also take notes of, like if you want to write down some information, very important, you are trying to present something, you can do it by Lync as well. If you want to know more about Lync server, so here are the two links for you from where you can get more information about Microsoft Lync. In the first link I provide, it is all about Lync product. You will get more deep dive features about Lync server. If you want to know collaborated all the information about new features and new available feature for an enterprise so that you can decide that how you can configure Lync server, I strongly recommend you to follow the down link. Lync server 2013 design and plan. It is very important if you are trying to make a communication server or communication system or a portal in your organization, and especially the on-premise. You definitely don't want any downtime or any issue for the users. If you don't want that, you have to make a proper design and a plan. In this particular presentation, I'm trying to share with you that I already make a plan for 25 users. I have a company. I already assume that I have a company actually. The name is All365 Partners. I have a location. The location is in Wuxi, China. And of course, I already share with you that I have 25 users. Now my target is to provide rich experience to all the 25 users for the Lync, so that these guys can arrange their meetings, they can talk with the partners, they can directly communicate with the customers without any problem. If you want to understand how you can make a proper design for Lync server, here's a picture demonstration for you so that you can easily understand that what are the things you required to make a proper on-premise Lync server. So guys, to deploy Lync server 2013, the first of all, I strongly recommend you to use a firewall. And of course, Microsoft provide one firewall called Forefront firewall system. That really an awesome product from Microsoft which will make everything flawless. You can configure the port number very easily. You can assign any application to work around within firewall, means it will directly communicate with the internet, what kind of port you can configure it. Yeah, there are a lot of other firewalls also available, and of course some people even like to use their personal inbuilt firewall as well. But for an enterprise, it is always important to use a separate firewall. After the firewall, I have one Active Directory server where the information will be stored of the user, and it will be authenticated by Kerberos protocol if the Lync trying to authenticate from directory server. If you don't like and if you have any problem to use Active Directory server, you do not believe in the Active Directory server or authentication system, I recommend you to use another authentication servers as well. As per your requirement, you can configure radius, you can configure TAC++. It is completely and proprietary protocol of the Cisco. And of course, you can use ACS servers as well, which is access control systems, which will allow you to authenticate everything without any problem. On the right hand side down below, you can find the Lync server configuration, and I just trying to share with you that you can create a member server, and after that you have to install Lync server 2013 on that. As an audiences, I'm already assuming that you have a proper knowledge of network administration, including protocol, how stuff works, what is TCP protocol, what is UDP protocol, what are the port number is required, what is instant messaging protocols, etc. Of course, I'm going to deploy Lync server 2013 on Windows Server 2008. But if you have a knowledge of Windows Server 2008 or R2, I'm assuming again that you have a knowledge of Active Directory, certificate services, and network access protection. And for the beginners, I'm definitely going to share with you and explain you in detail. Don't worry about that. So let's get started to deploy Lync server 2013 in our area, and let's face the things, and of course I will share with you the troubleshooting steps as well if we face any problem, and if you have any issue during the deploying the Lync server 2013 on-premise, you can share with me the details anytime. Lync server 2013 lab setup. If you are trying to make a test lab for Lync server 2013 on-premise server, you need to follow these instructions for the best practices. For the best practice, you require 2 operating systems. Both operating systems must have server roles. It means either you can use Windows Server 2008 R2 or you can use Windows Server 2012. In my own demonstration, I'm going to use Windows Server 2012, and on first server, I'm going to install Active Directory and DNS. Once I do that, my server will become a domain controller. And after that, I'm going to configure another server as a member server of domain controller. And then I'm going to check the prerequisite and try to install few things before to install Lync server 2013 on-premise server. Once you do with that, you just need to follow few instructions, and then after that you have to download Lync server 2013 from Microsoft official website. That will be applicable for 180 days, and start installing Lync server 2013 for your own test purposes. If you want to know more about Lync server 2013 installation prerequisites, kindly follow this particular link so that you can get more information about installation part. In the first place, we need to configure Active Directory on a server. Right now this is fresh installed Windows Server 2012 server, and now we are going to install Active Directory and the DNS on this server to make a domain controller. How we can do that? First of all, we need to make sure and change the computer name as per your convenience. I already changed it to DC. Once you change it, your computer name, you have to go to the IP address settings and make sure you configure the right option. Right now I have 2 connections. One is connected with internet and one is LAN. Right now I'm going to configure and change my IP address as per my own convenience. For this particular setup, I already choose IP version 4, and right now the IP address I give to this machine is 10.100.100.1. Just for your information, I do not use subnetting concept. I am just going to use the default subnet mask for that. Once you change your IP address, just click on OK. And once it is done, just need to go to the Server Manager option. In the Server Manager, we need to install the role for Active Directory, and then later we need to promote it to become a domain controller. How we can achieve this task? First of all, in the configure this local server, we need to go to add roles and features. After that, there is one wizard will be open, and here on the before you begin option, there are few information. If you want to read, you can read. If you don't, just click next. Once you click next, we need to choose role-based or feature-based installation. After click on next, it will show you this kind of option. Here it is just trying to show right now you select a server from the server pool. Actually, Windows Server 2012 also allows you to configure domain controller and adding other roles and features on other servers as well. We will discuss about this later, but right now just choose the default option and just click next. Once you click next, here you need to choose the role. For Active Directory, we require Active Directory Domain Services role. Once you select that, a new window will pop up, and here it required some additional feature need to be installed. So just click on Add Features and let it install properly. After that, just click on Next. Do not change anything for right now. If you want or if you required any other feature need to be installed, you can select as per your requirement and then click Next. Once you click Next, here it will give you the brief introduction of Active Directory Domain Services role. If you want to read, it is good enough. If you don't, just click Next. Here, before to click on Install, make sure you choose Restart the destination server automatically if required. Actually, during the Active Directory installation, Windows Server 2012 need to be restarted for a few times. So it will be done automatically. So once you do that, just click yes here and then click on Install. After you click on Install, it will begin with the installation process for Active Directory Domain Services role. Once you finish with that, we need to move on next option to promote this machine to become a domain controller. So just wait to finish this wizard, and once it is finished, I will come back and I'll show you the remaining option. After the installation finish right now, as you can see on the screen, just click on Close. Once you click on Close, here you can see you have ADDS option. Just click on ADDS option. Once you click on that, click on More here on the right side. Once you click on More, here it will ask you Post Deployment Configuration, and here on this side it will show you promote this server to a domain controller. Make sure you click on this option. Once you click on this option, here it will begin with Active Directory installation process. In this process, first of all, we are trying to add a new domain controller in a new forest. So in the deployment operation, you need to choose add a new forest, and you can give a name here. For example, I'm going to use O365 lab.com or .local. Again, it is up to you. So once you give your root domain name here, just click Next. It will check via NetBIOS protocol. It will check the same name exists on the network or not. If it is not, it will allow you to move to the next step right now, as you can see. Or if the same name is available in the network, it will show you that kindly change your name, or it will also give you some suggestion. For example, O365.01 or 1.com. As everything is set properly, everything is configured properly, you have to choose the right forest function level. If you have and you are sure that in your network you only have Windows Server 2012, I strongly recommend you to choose forest function level as a Windows Server 2012 and the domain function level also Windows Server 2012. We will discuss this option in detail later, but for right now, better choose this option. and then give the password. The password will be minimum 7 character, and make sure it is the combination of alphabets, numerics and symbol. As you can see right now, maybe my password is not correct, so it do not allow me to choose a better option, so I'm going to choose it next. Right now the password is matched and it will show you the next option properly, so click next. On the next option, it will allow you to configure DNS option. As I mentioned before, if you have a separate DNS server, you have to configure in the primary DNS server configuration and put the IP address in the IPv4 settings. But if you do not have, so just click here, show more. In the show more, just click OK. For the delegation for this DNS server cannot be created because the authoritative parent zone cannot be found. As we do not have any separate DNS server, I want this server should be react or behave like a DNS server. So once you click next, it will verify these settings using NetBIOS protocol, and once it is done, then it will share you the path where it will store the information of Active Directory, or in other sense you can say the database. So just wait to finish this part, and once it is finished, we will move to the next option. So as you can see, it is verified properly that this domain name is available. We can configure with this particular name. So just click next. Now it will share with you the database location, log file location and sys volume folder. So everything is done and everything is good to go. So kindly do not change the location in a default test environment. So just click next. It will give you some review option that if you want to check what you just did, you can check it. And also it will allow you to save or show you the script that it will use for the Active Directory installation. If you can save this list as a PowerShell script, you can use it later, or you can change the settings as per your own requirement, and it will be easy for you to configure Active Directory on a server core. Server core is another kind of operating system within Windows Server 2012 which do not have GUI interface or graphical interface. In the character level interface, it will just allow you to store the files or other kind of information, and once it is stored, you need to type the commands to fulfill all the requirement for the server. But right now, just as a default option, leave this part. Just click next to begin with the prerequisites check that everything is okay to install Active Directory on this machine or not. And once it is verified that this particular server, which is without Active Directory right now, everything is good on this server, then it will allow us to click next and Active Directory installation begins immediately. So right now the all prerequisite checks passed successfully. Now we can click on install to begin with Active Directory installation. So click on install. The Active Directory will start installing right away. And just want to share with you guys, once the Active Directory will be finished, it will ask you to restart, or maybe it will do it automatically as we choose the option before. So once the machine restarts, after that your Active Directory is installed properly and you are ready to move to the next option. After installation of Active Directory, we need to move on the next step, that is creating and configure member server, so that we can install SharePoint server, Exchange server and Lync server on that. But before to begin with the installation and configuration of member server, we need to verify few things on Active Directory server. So first of all, we need to verify the domain name and computer name is configured properly and everything is set properly. As you can see on my computer name, the name is DC. Full computer name, which is called FQDN, is dc.o365lab.com, and my domain name is o365lab.com. So everything is perfect on this server. The next thing we need to check is about IP address. As I mentioned before, I configured DNS on the same server, so you need to verify this setting properly on Active Directory server. For that, you need to go to Internet Protocol version 4, click Properties, and here you have to make sure the preferred DNS server should be 10.100.100.1, the IP address like you have on Active Directory server. Is because I do not have separated DNS server. I configured this server as an Active Directory server as well as DNS server. Because once you install and restart your machine after Active Directory installation, it will turn into 127.0.0.1. So you have to make sure, because later on we have to use this preferred DNS server IP address for the configuration of member server. So once you verify this, click OK, close here, and close this IP address settings. Now just for the final verification, we need to go to the server manager and we need to make sure we have installed two different roles. One is ADDS. On the ADDS, you can find few more information on the right side in the action pane. I will discuss about this pane and these details later, but for right now, everything is okay on this server, and I only configured Active Directory Domain Services role on the machine. Just to make sure my DNS server is configured properly, once you click on DNS, here you can find the information of DNS server, and you can also check what I configured in the services, is it running or not. Once you verify that everything is okay on the server, we need to move on to another server and start configuring member server configuration. So right now, this is my another machine. In the another machine, the first step, I need to configure the IP address. So for that, I just need to go to the network settings. In the network settings, I need to go to the LAN. In the LAN, go to the properties, then select Internet Protocol version 4 and properties. So first thing, you need to make sure in the preferred DNS server you have to give the IP address of the DNS server, or indirectly you can say the IP address of Active Directory. Because right now I configured Active Directory and DNS server on the same machine, so you can give only one IP address. But in your organization, if you have separated DNS server, so in the preferred DNS server you have to give the IP address of the DNS, and if you have any other alternate DNS server as well, you can give it here. If you have multiple DNS server in your own network or in your own environment, you can click on Advanced, go to DNS, and you can add multiple DNS addresses here in this screen. So just after verification that I configure preferred DNS server properly, just click OK, close. After that, we need to go to the server info option within the settings. Click on server info. In the server info, I just want to share with you right now my computer name is X1, which resembles Exchange Server 1. With the same setting, you have to configure SharePoint and Lync server as well. The settings are absolutely same, only you just need to change the computer name here. So click on Change Settings, then go to Change, and here to make a member server, you need to go to the domain option and type the domain information, or you can say that the name of the domain. So I already configure o365lab.com. Once you type your domain name here, just click OK. It will ask you the username and the password, or in other sense, credentials. Make sure you type the right credentials. Right now I am using administrator, the by default user who have all the permission to make any changes in the server. But this is a test environment. This is fine with me. But if you are in real environment, the best practice is to make a separate user and to assign permission accordingly. Like if you want to assign a user to install and change the roles, you have to add that particular group into the user member configuration. So right now I'm going to go with the default setting. I'm not going to make any changes here. Just click OK. Once you click OK, if my credential is perfect, it will show you this screen. Welcome to o365lab.com domain. Click OK, OK, close, and it will ask you to restart the server. So after restart, you are able to, or you configured your member server properly. Now you are ready to begin with the installation and check the prerequisite for Exchange server, SharePoint server, and Lync server. So I click here, restart now. Once your member server restarts, you need to log in into the administrator account of o365lab.com. How you can do that? Because guys, by default, as you can see on the screen, it will allow you to log in with EX1 administrator, which is the local one. But make sure if you want to install SharePoint server, Lync server, and Exchange server, you have to log in as an administrator account of o365lab.com domain. How you can achieve that? So click here on the back option, then select other users. In the other user, by default it will show you the o365 lab. Once you do that, or also you can type o365lab.com /administrator and make sure you type the proper and the right credential to log in. Once you type the credential properly, just click here, submit, and automatically it will log in with the administrator account and with the administrator privileges. Once it is logged in the server, you are allowed to configure further options. So here, after the installation, we are ready with the member server and everything is ready to go to check the prerequisite for Exchange server, SharePoint server, and Lync server 2013. Lync server in cloud. Office 365 allow users to use Lync experience within Office 365 subscription. If you have a right Office 365 subscription, you can use Lync and feel great experience by using it. You can arrange face-to-face meetings, you can share data virtually anywhere, you can present yourself with your presentation, you can collaborate all the information and put together in OneNote, you can take a note of your own meetings, you can schedule any meeting and you can send to any person virtually. Either he is using mobile phone, tablet, or a PC. He can join you from anywhere. Even by contact number, you can also arrange your meeting. You can call by using Lync directly, but you should have a right SIP account so that you can use it for calling purpose as well. It will also allow you to chit chat, that means the instant messaging option as well. If you have a Lync on-premise server, the Office 365 Cloud also allow you to connect that information within the Office 365 Cloud or Azure platform. Of course, you will be always available online because Office 365 allows you to make your everything up 99.9%. So it's almost 0% to make it down. You can feel great rich experience on any device you are using, either it is an Android phone or an iPhone or an iPad or any Windows or Surface. You can use it for that. Lync provide you the same interface in all the platforms, so it will be very easy for you to understand where are the options. Either you are using Lync on Apple devices or you are using on Android, everything you feel like absolutely same. That is a target from Microsoft, that the users will get the great experience even on any device. Lync Server 2013 certifications. If you are interested to do the Lync Server 2013 certifications, here's a path for you. After finish the Lync Server certification, you will be an MCSE Communication Solutions expert. But before to give the certification for Lync Server, you must have 7410, 7411, 7412 certification that is related to Windows Server 2012. Once you complete that, you will be a MCSA certified, Microsoft Certified Solutions Associate. Once you complete with that, it will allow you to go to the next step, that is for Communication Solutions Expert. And for that you need to give two certification. One is 7336, another is 7337. If you want to know more about the certifications, their price list, because it vary according to the country or the place, you can get more information from the particular link I shared with you in this presentation. You can get more detail, and if you have any question or query related to that, you can reach to me anytime. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day ahead.